13 texts you should never send a woman. 1. Why aren't you answering me? Women spend a lot of time using their phone to entertain themselves, much more than men do. When a woman doesn't answer a text, there are 3 likely reasons. She's busy, in which case she will respond as soon as she gets the time. She forgot, in which case she will respond as soon as she thinks of you again. She doesn't want to, in which case, well, you've probably done something wrong. Pushing for an answer with a text like this comes off as aggressive, mistrusting and needy. Guys send this text when they panic, thinking a woman is ignoring them or losing interest. Whether that's the case or not, demanding an answer almost always makes the situation worse. Women view texting as casual socializing, so a fast answer is not guaranteed. If you have something important to talk about, it's always better to just call them. 2. Who's that guy? This text typically gets sent when a guy sees a woman he's interested in with another man, but he's unsure who that man is and what his relationship with her is. But here's the reality of the situation. If you know her well, and that was someone important in her life, she would have mentioned him. If you don't know her well, it's probably none of your business. If it was, she would tell you. There's no point in sticking your nose into it. This text is bad because it shows insecurity and jealousy. If you want to bring it up because you're genuinely curious, either do it in person or don't make it the topic of the conversation. An alternative like, "I saw you with someone and I didn't want to bother you," is a much better option, as it's a friendly invitation for her to explain who he was, and what they were doing. 3. Think I'll go to bed early today. Small lies, which guys often use to impress a woman, can accumulate over time. She might think you're cool at that moment, but at some point those lies are going to rise to the surface and everything you say or do from that day forward will be seen as untrustworthy. You might have thought she's going to judge you for drinking, but wait until she finds out you lied about it too. On top of that, if she catches you lying through text, she even has proof. Expect screenshots to be thrown right back in your face. In fact, you should avoid lying altogether, regardless of if it's through text or not. 4. Where do you want to go? Gentlemen, it's a fact that over 90% of first dates are initiated by men. Many men, when they ask a woman out and she says, yes, follow up by saying something along the lines of, what do you want to do, where do you want to go? Guys think this is good because they let the woman choose and think that she'll appreciate it, while women think it's just lazy. One of the biggest first date mistakes, according to women, is guys not having a clear plan of action. The first thing that pops into a woman's head when she reads a text like this is that no creativity or thought was put into the date. Before asking a woman out, you should make sure you know her interests and can find something that you can both enjoy, or if you're going to a simple drink date, make sure to pick a place that's convenient for the both of you. 5. Please, give me another chance. If you are in a situation where you feel like sending this kind of text, chances are you messed up so badly there's no way any sort of short-term apology will fix it. What's more, when you beg someone for something, it gives them power over you. It's basically telling them they control your fate, and not that your relationship involves both parties making decisions. If you have to own up to a mistake, a bunch of pleading texts is not the way to go. Apologize properly and make it up to them with actions, not words. Texts like these come off as clingy and make it seem as if you have no other options, so you resort to begging. In the best case scenario, the woman will just ignore them. But in the worst case, she may feel entitled to use that shift of power you just gave her, and rub it in your face. Owning up to your mistakes and actually making an effort to fix it will produce results, even if it takes time. 6. Hey, what's up? Sending a random text like this without any context or intent to follow up with a story and start an actual conversation is downright boring. According to most women, they get them from guys on pretty much a daily basis. Texts like this are unoriginal, the conversations feel forced and often don't last, meaning the woman won't put effort into them, as historically they didn't prove to bring any value to her. Guys who send these come off as having nothing to say and are just begging for her attention. If you're going to text, make sure you have something to say. 7. I want you to have my babies. She might appreciate that you feel that way about her, but sending an overly emotional text puts too much pressure on the woman to respond. The response requires emotional thought to be put into it, and it's risky because you don't know what state of mind she's in at the moment. If she had a bad day, she might have texted you to get away from things, and all of a sudden she gets a text that asks her to share her emotions. These kinds of texts close off the conversation and take it from fun to serious. It becomes a make it or break it scenario for her. If she doesn't feel the same way, this can lead to conflict, and the woman might ignore the conversation going forward to avoid escalation. If she feels the same, she might try to reserve it until you meet up, to save for the right moment. This might be misinterpreted as her ignoring you. Otherwise, if she responds right away with something like, "Me too," it's going to create a ton of pressure next time you meet. 8. Sorry, so sorry. Dragging out an apology, after she already forgave you, is annoying, and it's an obvious beg for attention. Most women are used to the fact that, when they get a text like that, a lame, "I want to make it up to you" response will follow. The text usually blows things out of proportions intentionally, so the guy can make an unnecessary or excessive offer in exchange for his mistake. Using an apology to ask a woman out somewhere is a tactic that women recognize and despise, since they know you are trying to make her go out with you by using pity. If you genuinely want to make it up to her, you can start by asking what you can do to correct the situation. 9. Are you sure, though? Don't send texts blatantly seeking her approval to do something important to you or something that you should be fully capable of deciding to do yourself. She won't hate you if you decide to change plans or exclude her from them, as long as it's done respectfully and with enough notice for her to make her own changes. You could also then offer to catch up with her another time. It's fine to ask permission or opinion on something, but keep it short and to the point. Once you get your answer, say, "Thank you," and don't drag it on. According to women, one of the worst traits a guy can have is to be constantly seeking approval from people and relying too much on the opinion of others. Women like it when a guy is decisive and doesn't evade responsibility, and these men have thicker skin than other guys. 10. I'm bored. When you send a text like this, you paint yourself as a boring person with not much going for you. This makes you unattractive to women, as it makes it seem as if you don't value your time and rely on others to fill out your day. Don't reach out to her, expecting her to make the conversation for you. The fact is, she's not here to entertain you. If you can't even entertain yourself, what kind of catch are you going to be to her? 11. Good morning, sunshine. Sending a "good morning" text too early in a relationship just doesn't work. Lots of guys do it to try and grab the woman's attention first thing in the morning. Women think it's pointless, as it comes off as trying too hard. Even if the guy is truly super nice, it will likely be interpreted as fake. Don't text first thing in the morning. Reserve the texting for evenings, to catch up on each other's days. There's not much she can follow up with because her mornings are usually reserved for work or study-related things. She might still be tired, and chances are she doesn't have time to chat, which makes it more likely for her to forget to respond or send a half answer that neither of you are happy with. 12. Like what you see. Sending a selfie without giving a context is bad. This is because you give her no reason to respond with more than just a few words. The best thing you can hope for is a heart eye emoji if you look good in the picture. Even if you do look good, you still might come off as a show-off. If you're going to send a picture, make sure it has a story attached to it. Sending a woman pointless selfies is bad because, if she's interested in you, she's already checking your social media pages, which are likely full of photos. If you have something to show her, then, by all means, send a picture, but make it obvious what you're trying to say. 13. The one-word response. We've all been in scenarios when we share something interesting and expect a reaction, only to have the other person say something as simple as, "alright," or "K." It makes us feel as if the other person either wasn't listening or they were just waiting for us to finish what we were saying because they weren't interested in what we had to say. If you get texts like these, you can assume the other person is just not interested in having a conversation with you. If your intent is to close the conversation by using a one-word response, a much better way would be to use something like, "Thanks for letting me know, talk soon." This lets the other person know their effort in the interaction was appreciated and you expect there to be more of it in the future, just not now.